Okay, so OpenAI has gone and done it again. They've changed the game. Think about this. What if ChatGPT, your go-to AI assistant, could do way more than just talk? I mean, what if it could actually order you an Uber, or design a logo on the fly, or even book your entire vacation? Well, guess what? That's not a what if anymore. It's happening right now. So let's dive in and break down this massive update, because this isn't just some small upgrade. It's a whole new playbook for how we're all going to use AI.
Yeah, that one sentence, it absolutely nails it. We're not just talking about a new feature here, you guys. This is a fundamental shift in what this thing even is. It's an identity change for a tool that, let's be honest, millions of us are using every single day.
All right, so let's get into it. What does this really mean in practice? How did our favorite AI assistant go from being this, super clever tool to becoming the potential command center for our entire digital lives? That's a huge leap, right?
Okay, the big news, when you boil it all down, is pretty simple. It's not just about what ChatGPT can do by itself anymore. It's now opening its doors, basically throwing a party and inviting all the other apps you already know and love to come and plug right in. Your favorite services can now join the conversation.
And this is where it gets really, really cool and, practical for you. Instead of just asking for ideas, you can now give direct commands. You're not just spitballing a YouTube thumbnail concept, you're literally telling Canva, hey, make me this thumbnail. You're not just researching vacation spots, you're telling Expedia, find me a deal. The huge difference here is action. It's about doing, not just thinking.
So what are we really looking at here? I mean, this is basically the birth of a brand new kind of operating system. Seriously, think about it. Right now, you have a desktop, a screen full of icons you have to click. But imagine just one single conversation, one chat window, where any app, any tool you need is just a single sentence away. That's a complete shift in how we interact with our tech.
Okay, the idea is awesome, for sure. But how does it actually work? Like, what happens behind the scenes? Let's pop the hood for a second and see how surprisingly simple this all is. The whole process is designed to be super smooth. It's easy. So you just mention an app in your prompt, right? Like we say Spotify. ChatGPT is smart enough to know what you mean. It'll ask you for a one-time permission to connect to your account. You hit approve, and boom, that's it. You're now talking to that app right inside the chat. Couldn't be simpler.
And that right there, that's the real magic. It's all about getting rid of the annoying stuff. You know that dance we all do? Switching tabs, logging in here, logging in there, copying something from one window and pasting it in another? Yeah, that whole mess. This system is designed to kill all of that and just replace it with one single unified conversation.
And hey, just look at who's on board right from the start. We're not talking about tiny obscure apps here. These are the heavy hitters. Canva, Spotify, Expedia. I mean, come on. When you see these huge names jumping in on day one, it sends a really powerful message. They're betting big that this is the future.
And it's not stopping there. The momentum is definitely building. OpenAI is already talking about who's next in line. We're talking Uber, DoorDash, even Target. Can you just imagine? Typing, get me an Uber to the airport, or order my usual from DoorDash, all from one place. Game changer.
So let's zoom out. What does all this add up to? Because this is so much bigger than just another feature update. This is a massive strategic play that feels a lot like another huge moment in tech history, one that totally changed everything more than a decade ago. And this is the perfect way to think about it. Remember the iPhone back before 2008? It was a cool device, yeah. But then the App Store came along and turned it into a platform. That unleashed this absolute tidal wave of creativity from developers all over the world. That's exactly the same move OpenAI is making here. They're turning ChatGPT from a smart tool into a platform, a foundation for a whole new world of AI experiences.
So what's the engine driving all this? It's something called an Apps SDK. Don't worry about the jargon, just think of it as a box of tools. It's a toolkit that OpenAI is basically giving away to any developer out there, saying, here, use this to plug whatever you create directly into ChatGPT. And you have to understand, the implication here is enormous. It means the next world-changing AI app might not come from a giant like Google or Microsoft. It could come from a tiny startup or maybe even just one person, a single developer with a genius idea. It's basically opening up AI development to everyone on a scale we've never seen before.
All right, so we've covered the what and the how. Now for the big one, the most important question. What does this mean for you, for all of us, and what kind of future is this actually building?
And of course, whenever you talk about connecting all your stuff, the first question that pops into everyone's head is, what about my data, my privacy? What happens to my personal information when I start linking all these different services together?
Well, OpenAI's answer is really clear on this one. You are in the driver's seat. You're in control. Nothing connects without your explicit permission. The system will always tell you exactly what data an app wants to use, and you can pull the plug and disconnect any app anytime you want. So privacy isn't some add-on, it's baked right into the foundation of this thing.
And this is where you can really see the grand vision, the ultimate goal. We're looking at a future where you're not juggling 100 different websites and apps anymore. Instead, you'll just talk to one central assistant. It's like having a universal remote, but for your entire digital life.
And it's really important to get this distinction. This is way more than just automation. Automation is about making one task a little easier. This is about deep integration. It's about weaving all of our different digital tools together into one smart conversational tapestry. It's a much, much bigger deal.
So, that leaves us with one final, pretty mind-blowing question to think about. As this whole ecosystem gets bigger and bigger, are we watching the beginning of the end for apps as we know them? Is the future of tech going to be less about tapping on icons and more about just having a single conversation? It's a really bold vision for sure, but it feels like it's closer now than it has ever been.